Hey ratbags, it's Jade. Today giving you my review and basically what I want to see added to LEGO Fortnite. It's had huge success already, millions of players playing it at any one time when it launched, but over a week now it's been live. I definitely see some improvements needed. Fair to say a free-to-play survival game set within the Fortnite world using LEGO minifigures is a winner, but there are substantially some issues with the game that I have. It's got the premise, it's got the base for being a fantastic survival game, and I'm really enjoying some parts of it, but it absolutely is a copycat of so many of the other successful survival games out there. So today this is like my mini review and I guess what they really need to work on and add next. I think the game's got great potential, but it's still a little bit light at the moment and it definitely needs more consistent updates, hopefully addressing what we're going to get and see if it improves the game. I think they will. Obviously this isn't a limited time game mode, it will be there for the long haul. Let's just hope it does get a lot more support than Save the World and ended up not getting. So let's go, everything that LEGO Fortnite needs in the future. So number one, some basic UI improvements and quality of life stuff. They've got like this merge button that's meant to merge items within your inventory. Now it does it just about in your own inventory, but it doesn't do it reliably when you're actually in another box or storage unit, and it doesn't combine items. They just need quick move, they just need to have a sort all button and add all button. This is almost a basic nowadays in most survival games, and some of the best games out there doing it is things like Grounded, where you can literally just press one button almost and deposit any items in chests around you without having to go into 20 different boxes. Other UI stuff that's really annoying at the moment is that when you die and you go and pick up your backpack, everything goes in just random spots, and also things like not being able to auto equip a shield straight away by just pressing the equip button. You have to manually click it and then drag it into the slot. I've spent way too long in my inventory and storage units sorting stuff out when I should really be out there adventuring. Number two, absolutely do more with the essence table if this is how things are going to be in terms of repairing. We've seen from games like Valheim and others that repairs are really just an inconvenience, hence why they made them free. As long as you can set up a crafting bench, you can repair pretty much all of your gear in Valheim. LEGO Fortnite needs to get with the times and add something like this. If not, if they really are going to be using the essence table and they really want players to invest in this, they need to add the benefits more. If you go ahead and max upgrade with 3 different endurance or abilities on your weapon or tool, it only gives it like maybe a 50% extra increase. I do think this needs to be tweaked and it should be given even more. Or even better, being able to combine items to repair. So if you've got like a basic sword or a crossbow and then you find some that you've picked up from enemies that are about to break, maybe you can literally click dismantle button and it pretty much repairs the one weapon that you have. Core Keeper does a really good job of this as well. They've got a dismantle button that you dismantle items, it gives you scrap, and the scrap can be used to repair all of your goods or even reinforce it and give even more durability. Now I'm mentioning other games quite a lot already, but that's because LEGO Fortnite has literally copied so many. There's not really that much that's original here. The share your world feature where you can play with some of your friends, then you go offline and they carry on in that world, that's directly lifted from Grounded, which to some extent was also lifted from Fallout 76, but only if you paid for the premium membership. The food structure and how you're meant to basically get prepared before you go on adventures is definitely directly lifted from Valheim. Yes, you can heal yourself a little bit, but just like in Valheim, the idea is that you have the right foods for the right adventure that you're going on. The progression system is pretty similar as well in terms of gathering new resources, unlocks new weapons and gear, although that is every survival game going, so they're not directly copying catting too much there. The one original thing that maybe LEGO's got going for it is the ability to have automation maybe enhanced a bit more and being able to craft and make your own vehicles. It's pretty basic at the moment with the balloons and the rocket thrusters and the wheels that you have to do a whole lot of work to maybe not even gain that much of a benefit, as they don't particularly go that much faster, or if they do, you've definitely got to do a lot of work in investing in weird contraptions so they don't fly off in the sky or go shooting off somewhere. Anyway, back to what it needs. A better repair system for sure, and a better essence table system. Some of the other benefits from the essence table are just not noticeably that much greater, even when you max upgrade on one weapon. Either give a weapon more slots or allow us the ability to take off essences for a small cost and reapply ones when we want it. The game desperately needs more choice in weapons and armours. Now let's face it, armours are never happening because that's the whole idea, that your Lego figures you can go and buy new skins, and so they don't want to be covering up any of the characters with armour. So instead we've got charms, and the charms are moderately okay. Again, some that will give you health benefits, some that are going to give you protection against heat or cold. And actually this system's just about okay. I can see why I've done it instead of armour. But the fact we only really have swords and maybe tools to use as weapons and just maybe the crossbow is kind of lame. Things I'm sure will come in time, but it'd be nice to see a bit more choice. Could we have two-handed weapons? Is there a chance that we could have things like whips maybe? They obviously can't add things like guns because I'm pretty sure that will go against the Lego aesthetic, because I don't think they really want stuff like that in it. But we could certainly have different ammo types, poisonous arrows, explosive arrows. Maybe a bit more magic and staves and stuff where we can do cold damage or fire damage. The combat is just so basic in Lego Fortnite. It definitely needs more weapons and ways to actually fight creatures. Also, some way to fast travel. It's kind of ridiculous that you have to build maybe 3 different distinct villages in the main biomes to unlock all the building blueprints, and then you've got to travel like half an hour between them each time, unless you're going to go to the tedium like I said, or building like a monorail, or maybe having a rocket ship that actually doesn't just go off everywhere. If they're going to improve and add features so that we can control different thrusters, or being able to have just a steering wheel added to things, then obviously making contraptions is definitely going to be more beneficial, and it adds another gameplay loop. But it would still be nice if there was a fast travel option. If you upgrade your village square to maybe the max level, it unlocks a fast travel that you'd be able to go from one to the other as long as they're both max upgraded. The building system is probably the most fun. It's kind of like some sort of zen pastime for me. I'm quite enjoying putting the slots in together. It can be a bit finicky when you're using it, especially on controller at least anyway, when you're doing the prefabs and the blueprint buildings. And then when you're trying to build on your own, yeah, it definitely needs a bit of work. There's too many times where it goes red because the collision is snagging on something, so it might need to be a bit more forgiving. Although the nudge buttons definitely help a lot with that one. But it is really cool. Like, I'm obviously talking about what the game needs, so it might come across as negative, but I am enjoying the game, and the fact that you can have all of these base building options and unlock all of these types of different base builds is a really cool feature. But I want them to do stuff as well. At the moment they contribute a little bit to obviously your village square being upgraded, but I wouldn't mind if they did nab another element from games like Valheim where you get the cozy effect, and maybe that will give you a buff so you don't have to eat or drink as much when you're around base. Grounded again has done this to the best example lately. It absolutely reduces your food and your water intake when you're at home if your base is nice and cozy. Give us a reason to make sure that we're decorating. At the moment so many decorations are just that. You can't even sit in half the stuff, you can't take a dive into the hot tub. We need fun interactions with the decor pieces, or like I said, make them beneficial. Give us some extra buffs associated with it. The big scaly dragons are meant to be like the mini bosses. They're the toughest creatures that you'll fight pretty much in the game, and obviously going into the different caves, especially the Frostlands caves, where it's the most dangerous with so many of the kind of cursed wolves and stuff that are really challenging. But there definitely needs to be more bosses. It would be nice if there was a way that we can either summon bosses, or some way that we could craft something that takes us to a boss fight plane. Obviously the ingredients you get from the resources, they are meant to be able to craft the bestest gear and charms and weapons, but yeah, it still would be nice if they drop something very special. It would be cool if you come across maybe a bandit's outpost, one of the larger ones that you find in maybe in the Frostlands, there is a big baddie in there. There's going to be a dragon in there, there's going to be something, a massive yeti. The mob variety I'm okay with. It does get a bit monotonous stocking up on 200 million bits of bones because you keep killing the same skeletons every time. And obviously they're just variations of things like wolves when you go into the sand, the desert sand wolves, and then obviously you've got the frost wolves too. So yeah, a bit more variation would be nice, but I understand, you know, trying to get the basics right is good. And combat, I think it's just about okay. In the early days, you do kind of get owned quite a lot if you haven't managed to make some charms straight away, or you've got plenty of healing items. I love the fact that it's got a proper dodge button as well, and a decent block mechanic. And having NPC helpers really definitely improves things, especially when you go in combat on your own. The NPCs are okay. I think it should be made clearer which ones are rare and which ones aren't, and if they are rare, what do they actually do or give you more? I haven't really noticed any that give me particular different bonuses or are going to gather more resources. I've seen a couple comments from people saying that some are more suited to things than others, but nothing really says that in the UI. Maybe I've just missed out on this, but it would be nice that if certain NPCs come to your village, they are going to be better at doing certain things. And yes, in the early days, I was only getting like one piece of wood from one of them or one piece of rock or amber, and it was kind of just, what's the point in having them? But I think they updated it and changed it, because next time I logged on, I was often starting to get a lot more from them. But they need to fix what happens when you set up multiple bases, because at the moment if you destroy a village square, it still kind of remembers that's the area, and the NPCs that you've already got, they won't necessarily move to your new village. Even after 5 days, apparently if you destroy all the beds at the old one and set up ones at the new one, it can be a bit finicky and they just might not turn up. I know a lot of people complaining about the village square, the fact that you lose your upgrade levels if you dismantle it and then go and build somewhere completely different. It kind of makes sense, otherwise you just plough through the game too easily if you could just take your village square, go and set up somewhere else, get all the build materials and back again. So I don't really have a problem with this. The idea is that you just got to have a way to transport between your villages or even send inventory between them. Imagine if you could use a parrot from Lego or another creature to send it on its backpack back to your other village. And that's probably the last thing. Inventory space, got to increase it a little bit more or give us more stacking abilities or ability to upgrade. It's not the worst. I've definitely played a lot more games. Here's looking at you, Valheim, that it gets frustrating when you've overloaded or you just haven't got space to carry everything. Simple answer is give us an ability so that our NPCs that come fight with us, they have backpack space too. That way we could swap in and out weapons with them as well, because sometimes I make the mistake of giving them my brand new crafted OP epic axe, which I really needed to go and chop lots of the pine wood. I do like quite a lot of the little mini events that can happen, whether it's the llama appearing or the balloon supply drop. A lot more of that stuff needs to happen. The world does feel kind of a bit dead and empty sometimes. The weather effects are cool. I like the idea that rain can really lead to a massive storm and you've got a chance of getting electrocuted. Maybe there can be ways to get through that though, so you don't necessarily have to worry about getting that electrocuted if you craft a new charm that avoids being basically fried. All in all, Lego Fortnite is kind of got more content than most of the survival games I've played this year, like brand new ones that have come out. But it's still kind of empty or just doesn't have the right kind of mechanics in it somehow. It's fun playing with the Lego figures, it's fun being able to build and craft a village, but the grind is intense. It does feel like it's a free to play game. I mean, I know it's a free to play game, but obviously the battle passes and the micro MTX that people buy, that's what powers a lot of this game dev for stuff like this. So yeah, they've said they're going to support, they're going to be updating regularly. Let's see hopefully when that's going to happen. Is it going to be only with each season like Fortnite? Is it going to be every 4 weeks, 3 weeks? Are we going to start seeing patch notes for some of these? All that stuff needs to be answered, and hopefully I'll be delivering that news to you. I'm adding Lego Fortnite as one of my main games I'm covering now, alongside my grounded content. And yeah, I definitely see it's got massive potential. I want to build a whole massive city with all the different prefabs in it. That's my goal, try and get 100 days done as well. So let me know if you're enjoying the game. Is there any other suggestions you want to see added to it? That's my pick of what it needs to improve. And until next time, Ratbags, I'll catch you later.